good. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Eddy Live Show, episode number 198. I'm here with Seán McCormack.
Hello.
Longtime resident of Taiwan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How long has it been, man?
24 years.
Oh, shoot. Oh, man, that's longer than me. Okay.
Yeah.
So we always have to start with the question, what originally brought you here, right? That's kind of what everybody loves to know.
Sure. Well, I was in England at the time and I was working in a restaurant and nothing much was really happening. And my friend had been traveling around Asia.
Okay.
And he said, he called me from his travels, which I thought something bad had happened.
Sure, of course.
And he just said, you got to come over. He said, I'm in Taiwan. I was like, Taiwan? I thought he meant Thailand. I was going, no, Taiwan.
Okay.
And he just said it's really friendly place and it's really interesting. And he kind of exaggerated how much you can make teaching English. He said I could save like thousands every month. So I thought,
oh, perfect.
I'll just go for a few months and pay off my credit card debt.
Yes.
And that was in 1999.
Okay.
So 24 years ago.
Jeez, that's okay. So it was just like, come and check it out.
Yeah, just come for a while.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would fall in love with it.
Okay. And you did, though? You did fall in love, yeah?
I fell in love with the hourly rate, first of all.
Okay.
Because I was able to earn, by teaching English, I was able to earn something like 3 or 4 times what I was earning in England.
That's actually quite a common thing, right? Same as me. Yeah, that was one of the reasons I came. Check it out. I liked the pay. I was kind of I think I was 23, and I came out here, and I was making good money for the first time, I think, in my life. Yeah. And it was great.
And couldn't say no. When someone says, "Can you come and teach me in Kaohsiung, and I'll pay you 1,000 NT an hour," you're like, "I'm there."
I'm there, dude.
So I was working 7 days a week.
Okay. Good.
Feeling very rich but exhausted.
Sure. Yeah, I know the feeling, man. Exactly. So, how are you with spicy food usually?
Well, it all depends who I'm talking to. Like when I go to my friend's Indian restaurant, he knows for him I'm in the middle.
Okay.
But it's more spicy than locals.
Sure.
Let's see.
So it's different because sometimes I'll have obviously Taiwanese guests, right? And they will eat spicy, but Taiwanese spicy is different, right? It's kind of like a salty, like an oily, sort of like a chili oil spice. And then ours is kind of like the fresh chilies, and so it's pretty. I love Indian as well, so I'm excited this weekend. Actually, a friend of mine is doing like a get together thing, like the curry council thing. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
No.
Yeah.
Well, no one's ever invited
if
me.
you want to come, we'll shoot. This time, so what they do is it's like a monthly meetup, and I always get invited, and I always want to go, and then I always bail at the last minute. One of the times I had COVID, so I was in my apartment. Another time we had like private parties here that I couldn't leave. But this time it's going to be at Spice Shop over here. Friday at 7.
That's my favorite one.
So there you go, man. If you want to come and join us, I
might do.
Join us,
It really is a good curry in there, and really nice people as well.
Yeah, exactly. I love
They used to take care of me when I was really poor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's. Let's grab the first wing.
All right then.
Right, so obviously you're a vegetarian, so we prepared the cauliflower wings. So I'm excited.
How does it work? I just grab one.
Just grab one of these. Yeah, one of these. This or that. Yeah.
So this is the mild.
So this is mild. So this is like a buffalo wing, buffalo style. Yeah.
So if I scream and run out the door on mild, that's all my.
It's probably not great. It should be really like mellow, right? It's a pretty mellow one. Yeah.
Mellow, but honestly, that is delicious.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. The story behind the cauliflower wings are, we have a lot of people that come in for like the wing nights and stuff like that. And we always want to try to cater to everybody. And a lot of people would come in and, people would be, picking out on the half price wings on a Wednesday, right? And there'd be one person that's not. And I'm like, is everything okay? They're like, well, I'm a vegetarian. So eventually we added a different recipe of the cauliflower. And then we took it to another level and made it even simpler. Well, not simple, but like a different recipe again to make it vegan. So yeah, we got the vegan cauliflower wings.
Well,
yeah.
I'm already loving it, but
Good.
It does have a nice little.
So originally, buffalo wing sauce is made with Frank's hot sauce, but we sort of made our own version of it with local cayenne peppers. Those long ones you see in the market. So yeah, we made our own. long story short, I think it's way better. But
honestly, it's delicious.
Yeah, thanks,
I'm
man.
not just saying
I
it's
appreciate
delicious. I'm just a bit worried because it's got a nice hot flavor.
Yeah.
But we're only on number one.
Number one. Well, we've got horchata. We've got whatever you want, beers, milks, whatever you need, man.
The door.
Yes. You know, I've been wanting to get you, on this for a long time, and because you're one of the most positive people that I've met in Taiwan, to be honest. Yeah.
It's very kind of you.
I appreciate, one of the big surprises, the last time we were chatting when we were sitting outside there, and when I was kind of deep diving into the research, was you were one of the co-founders of one of the first BJJ gyms.
Yeah.
In Taiwan. Like, Taiwan BJJ is huge. It's massive. Yeah. So, I mean,
I'm a jiu-jitsu legend in Taiwan.
That. Yeah, let's quickly talk about...
I was the first two-stripe white belt in Taiwan.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to get my third sometime in the next decade.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So what brought that? I mean, that's such a cool thing.
Well, I'm the kind of person that I'm not scared of doing stupid things if I think it's going to bring about some kind of result.
Okay.
And I've been watching Hoist Gracie.
Oh yeah, Hoist Gracie. Love him.
About 10 years too late, but I was watching him. And I was like, wow, he's about the same build as me, and he's beating
everybody,
huge guys. And
UFC 1.
And I used to be really cowardly when I was younger. I'd run away from the smallest guys, and I hated it.
Okay.
And I thought, I want to learn how to fight. And it actually started because I was in Costco, and there was this big guy there.
In the
ABC.
UK?
No,
here. Okay.
And there was a big guy there, and his baseball cap on backwards.
Okay.
And we'd just been paying, and he was there, and he was shouting at one of the staff. And they were saying, she was saying to him, you can't bring your drink in. He just gone and got himself a soda.
Okay, let me just boost your audio here a little
Sure.
bit, talking about that. Yeah. Okay, there we go.
She was trying to tell him, you can't bring it into the store.
Okay.
And he's like, I've paid for it. And she's like, okay, I'll keep it here for you. You can't take it into the store. And he was getting in her face.
Really?
I mean, she was a little woman, and he was a big ABC guy.
Oh, man. That's not cool.
And I told you I'm stupid.
You jumped in there.
Yeah. And I just said, hey, man, what are you doing? And he wanted to fight me outside. And then I realized, crap, I don't know how to fight.
I know the feeling. I know that feeling well. Sure.
I need to back it up. And then I bumped into Warren Wang. You know Warren.
Yeah. Sure.
Dr. Warren.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. What I'd done was I ordered this jiu-jitsu book. It was a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu step-by-step guide.
Okay.
Yeah. Like one of those books that teach you how to dance with the steps here and there.
Beautiful.
But you know what? We had fun. And we're just a bunch of guys. We used to meet every week in this basement dance hall thing. And we put down these really flimsy mats.
Okay.
And we just practiced what we learned, and we loved it. And then we met Warren.
Okay.
And he'd already started doing stuff in Taichung.
Okay.
And he used to drive up every Sunday to come and teach us.
Yep.
And from there, it grew into something that we thought, why don't we go serious? Why don't we bring over a black belt?
Uh-huh.
And so we put the word out on the Underground, which is the jiu-jitsu MMA thing. And we got loads of people interested. But
Really?
the best candidate was Andy Wang, because he spoke Chinese.
Okay.
Although in those days, not to a great level, but far better than mine.
Okay.
And that was it. And so it started. But I take no credit for what's happening now. I was just, I wanted to see it come to Taiwan, and I realized it wasn't really what I loved. I was tested. Let's just say my passion was tested somewhat.
Yeah.
And I had to stop and realize, is this really what I want to do? Do I really want to put the stress and the sacrifices into this? And I realized I didn't. It's not. I loved it, but it wasn't worth what I was having to go through at the time.
Gotcha.
And so I stepped out. And
how long ago was that? I mean, no, it's massive now, for sure.
That would have been something like 2004.
Okay.
2005.
Okay, wow, that was, I came here 2002 December, so yeah, not long after that.
Hang on, did I just make up that date?
I only remember 2002 December. I'm super bad with numbers, but I remember that. That's what I remember.
It was a long time ago.
Okay.
And then when the more serious guys took over, that's when it
That's when it
really
blew up.
became something. Then you
Okay.
start seeing new schools opening up, and
Yeah.
it's amazing to see. Now you see black belts
Yeah.
in Taiwan, and I miss it. I miss the camaraderie.
It's
I miss
nice.
the exercise.
It's fun.
Yeah, I miss having all my limbs stretched.
Well, I did some of it, and I'm going to tell you that I'm also a white belt. So, yeah, we can roll sometime. The funny thing is, last week, I had a Brazilian black belt from Fortaleza, who is the head coach of UFC Gym, like the UFC gyms in Taiwan. And he's just like, he's a machine. Like, he's incredible. And one of the questions was how he got into it. And it's the exact same story. He went and rented the VHS, and he watched,
Really?
Gracie, Hoist Gracie, UFC 1.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's fun. It's funny how often that comes up, and everybody's like, "Oh, I saw UFC 1, Hoist Gracie."
Wow.
Whooping everybody, and it's crazy.
Wow, and he's the head coach.
No,
of
he's the
UFC.
head coach. Yeah. He's a. Oh my God, he had a fight. Like he had a striking match in Kaohsiung, like 2-3 weeks ago, and then I put that on, and it was like, oh my God, he's jacked, and
Wow.
he messed up some dude. It's like he was like, yeah, and he's a super friendly guy. It was cool. It was a really cool thing, man.
They tend to be friendly when they get to that level.
I think so. Yeah, I think the better they are, the more friendly they are, because they just know.
We brought over
Yeah.
Barrett Yoshida to do
Oh yeah.
a seminar.
Okay.
A workshop, rather. And he was just such a nice guy.
Yeah?
So decent. Yeah, I really liked him. And then we brought over Kazeka Muniz. And I loved him.
Okay.
He's a real character. He was the guy, he was in the corner, he was in Hoist's corner in the early UFC days.
Oh shoot, really?
Yeah, you'd be watching the old playbacks of the UFC,
Yeah,
and there'd be
yeah.
Kazeka Muniz
Yep.
in the back. Brought him over.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a real character as well. I don't know where he is now. I've lost touch with him.
That's
but
amazing, man.
They were good days. And then we had the first MMA competition.
Yeah.
It was in Shulin, outside the movie theatre.
Really?
And we'd only just started, so we were all like less than white belts. Andy had just come over.
Okay.
Andy wanted to... No, sorry, it was before Andy came over.
Okay.
And the guys wanted to test themselves against the what was the stand-up? Sandar guys.
Okay.
And so there was this big like MMA tournament, and our guys were volunteering to do it, and I was like,
Okay.
no. So we had the first one there.
That's funny, man.
Yeah.
No, I think these guys are some of these guys that are just like the top level guys are fantastic, man. I love that. But so let's pivot a little bit, because I mean
Okay.
that's the beginning, obviously, and then you decided to start to rescue animals.
I was
Right.
already rescuing animals.
Okay, so you were already doing that from
Yeah.
the beginning. So when did that kind of start?
So I was engaged to someone, and we broke up. It was a very friendly breakup.
Okay.
And I was even helping her with her new boyfriend. This was just a few weeks after the breakup.
Okay.
And it turns out he was best friends with Jane Goodall. You know Jane
Okay,
Goodall,
okay.
the
Yeah. Just
Like
keep
the
going.
National
I'm just
Geographic
double
pinup.
checking that we're on here. Yeah, I should have done it before, but we're good. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good.
we're good.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
And she was coming to Taiwan, Jane Goodall, to do some activities, and they all got cancelled because there was a typhoon scare.
Yep. So okay,
Are
to
we on?
typhoons. Yeah. We're good.
I'm not
Sorry.
repeating all
Because
that.
somebody, my wife was just saying that we're not on, but that must be the TikTok. It's all good. That's
okay.
another story. Forget about that. Okay. Yeah.
I'll
so-
dance in a
okay.
minute.
We'll do the TikTok dances in a
Yeah.
minute here. Yeah. Exactly.
So she was here to do some things. They all got cancelled because of a typhoon, one of those typhoons that never
actually came. Okay.
Yeah, so she was stuck in her hotel room, and so this guy, who was my ex's new boyfriend,
Yep.
was good friends with her. And so
Okay.
he arranged for some people to come and meet her, like-minded people. And I've been
Yes.
rescuing dogs for
Yes.
many years.
Yep.
And we got to go to her hotel room. She wasn't there. She was downstairs having lunch.
Okay.
Walked in, and for me, I don't know if you... I've got a very few heroes, just one or two or three, and she was
Yeah.
one of them, and has
Nice.
been since I was a kid.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to be her living in the jungle and
Yes,
studying
okay.
chimpanzees. But
Okay, yes, that's who that. I was sure. I was
Yeah.
pretty sure. Okay, yeah.
is that what you were doing? Were you Googling?
No,
who
no,
Jane-
I wasn't. No, I
Be
just wanted to
honest.
make sure we were good, because I told my wife we would go to TikTok as well.
Okay.
But it wasn't working, so I just scrapped that whole idea. And now the comment is like, hey, it's not working. So anyways, forget it. All good. The TikTok, but the TikTok, I just turned it off. It's all good. So, yeah, so basically she was one of the heroes, right?
Yes, I met her,
Okay,
and
yeah.
she talked to us for 3 hours. Now, this is, to me, she's a god.
Okay, and she's just chilling with you.
Just chilling, but I'm not kidding. When she walked in, there were like shards of light coming through from the window.
Okay.
And we were waiting for her in her room. I'm in Jane Goodall's room looking around, and there's all these chimpanzee things, and there's things that she's signing. There's she's writing letters at her desk, and like, oh, this is Jane Goodall's hotel room, my God. And then she walked in, and I was like, wow. And we were all sitting on her suite. So we're all on her sofas, and I was on the chair. And she said, oh, can I sit there? I said, yeah, of course. So I shifted over to another one. By the end of the conversation, we'd all slipped down onto the floor, because it's a very mammalian thing that you know when you're in the presence of someone far superior. You don't stay on the same level. You have to get lower than them. Dogs do the same thing.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
We all found ourselves on the floor,
Kind of like,
not worthy, looking up. And then towards the end, she turned to me and she said, "Sure, I hear you rescue dogs."
yes.
And I was like, Jane Goodall knows that I rescue
She knows.
dogs. Yeah, and she said, why don't you start an organization? And I thought, why not? I was only teaching a little bit in those days, and I'd just broken up with my fiance, and I was just thinking of leaving. And I thought, yeah, because the happiest I ever was working at a wildlife rescue in the Florida Keys. We used to go rescuing cormorants and eagles and pelicans and a dolphin, and I was so happy doing that.
Beautiful.
And I thought, yeah, that's what I need.
Yeah, and so
The rest is history.
Jane Goodall gave you the idea, and you're like, oh, okay, you know what? That sounds great.
I was on a mission from Goodall, I would tell everyone.
That's crazy. Let's grab the next one, and we'll keep going on that, man. Next
On
one's just
camera?
Chipotle, man. Yeah. We're just a Chipotle.
All right,
It's
just
all
the
good. Just the Chipotle.
Yeah.
It should be probably a little bit spicier.
Yeah.
So you started. When did you actually start? Obviously, I think kids naturally love animals, right? I mean, all the kids that I know, like even my daughter, obviously she loves animals, but even when we'd go to like a night market and she would see a rat running around, she would love it.
My son.
She would be chasing it, saying, "Oh, can we take it home?" And everyone's like, "Oh, get that thing!" And she would like, "Oh my gosh, it's so cute." And to be honest, it is quite cute, you know. And so, from what I've seen, is most kids naturally love animals. It seems maybe I don't know all the kids,
Or at least interested.
They're at least interested, right? So when did you start that getting interested?
Oh yeah, when I was a tiny kid.
Tiny kid. Okay.
My cat, Shandy, used to
name.
bring home rabbits. When I was a kid, we moved to the outskirts of the town.
Okay.
So we were right next to the hills and the fields. So my cat would go and bring back rats and rabbits.
But she would kill them and bring them.
No, they weren't dead.
Okay.
My mum would try and save them with whiskey and milk.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind some whiskey and milk.
So my family all loved animals,
Okay.
and if we saw a badger hit by a car, we'd stop and we'd call the authorities, and we wouldn't go to any places that we thought were abusing animals and things like that.
Sure, beautiful.
So
Okay.
I grew up loving animals because of my parents.
Okay.
But my dad always said he's going to, as soon as he can, he's going to run away. He's going to join Greenpeace or something.
Funny. Okay.
So yeah, and I didn't do much until I went to the US and I started volunteering for the wildlife rescue of the Florida Keys. And as I say, I was just in heaven.
Just before here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went back to England, wasn't happy again. My friend was here, come on over.
Yeah.
And I do often find that there's so many little experiences I've had in life
Yeah.
that you can't imagine how they're going to benefit you in the future, and then suddenly you start doing something and all these things just fall into place.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. Mexican restaurant, cooking with mom as a kid.
Yeah.
Kind of like, and then you come here and you're like, hey, let's try that, Yeah, not something that I learned in school, just something that I learned.
I didn't know that's how you started.
Yeah, just started with mom. Yeah, cooking with mom. And, in the beginning I would, ask her, how come this is off, how come that's off? And she would just kind of tell me, on the phone, and we would slowly go up to where we are now. Yeah, a long road, obviously, but you've been along for the ride for most of it.
Oh, yeah, true.
The Dan Shui days and all that, right?
I'd heard about you.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen you in Dan Shui.
Okay.
But you were a legend on Formosa.
Okay, yeah, that Formosa, I think we had like the longest thread on there for so long.
Yeah.
And I just kept replying to everybody, and
Yep.
it was crazy, that
I was
Formosa.
in Xindian,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
I just never
shoot.
really got to Dan Shui.
That's crazy. That's far.
I kept hearing about it, like Eddy's burritos. I've got to try this.
Yeah.
I've got to try the burritos. Never did. And
Yeah.
then we found out you'd opened a restaurant in Tianmu.
Tianmu. You know, funny thing, we had a small restaurant we had a stall in the night market, and then we went to the small restaurant in Danshui. And once in a while, still, I mean, Google, they don't, like the internet kind of, things don't disappear. So once in a while, you know, I haven't changed my phone number in like 20 years. So once in
Same.
a while you get that phone, hey, I'm in the market. I can't seem to find your stall. I'm like,
Really?
oh, we moved. Yeah, I'm like, when? Oh, like 20 years ago. So
Keep
it's
going
like-
straight.
Yeah, keep going straight. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's kind of
For 1
funny,
hour.
man. For 1 hour, yeah. Come on down. Yeah. So it was good, man. Yeah, basically, I didn't want to cut you off, but yeah, when did you decide? Okay, Jane Goodall, let's try it. Like, when did you decide I'm going to do this as like a career, as like a lifelong goal?
So I started doing it part-time.
Okay.
Where did I get some money from? Oh, I got severance
Okay.
from a job I was in that I got fired from illegally.
Yeah, I know
And
that.
it gave me enough money to survive for the next year, basically.
Oh, wow.
So I thought, now's the time. And I'd been doing it by myself for a while, but yeah, after that I just thought, okay, I was trying to work doing editing
Yeah.
and doing the rescues, but my poor colleagues, I'd be sitting there stinking of dogs because my vehicle absolutely stank. And I'd always be late because I was out rescuing the night before and couldn't get there. And I
When
felt
you say
terrible.
editing, you mean like the video editing sort of
No,
deal? Or what?
it was a magazine.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
You know, when you're in
okay.
Taiwan, you can be a chief editor.
Okay.
With
Yeah.
no experience.
And the what is it? Let's Speak in English. That
That one of
magazine?
those.
Yeah, one of those magazines.
What was
Okay.
it? I forgot what it's called now, but it was great. The people I worked with were great, but they
Yeah.
were very tolerant of me. But in the end, they said, "Look, Seán, you're always coming in late," and that's when I decided to go full time with the rescues.
Okay.
But it was scary because I'm not the most organized of people.
Understand that. Yeah.
So starting something with organized in the name, like an organization, I was like,
Sure.
How'd you do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially in Taiwan, other side of the world.
Yeah, and I
yeah.
still don't speak the language. My Chinese is perfect now, so I just
It's
practice my
perfect.
English.
There you go. Yeah. Exactly.
But didn't know how, but I just knew I wanted to. So it's one of those things where you take the first step. Just take the first step.
yeah.
And immediately there was people that wanted to help, wanted to support. So the first one that I had,
There's a lot of animal lovers.
Yeah.
Everywhere, including Taiwan.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Okay.
oh, very much so in Taiwan.
Okay. Okay.
So there was like 6 co-founders of Animals Taiwan, which is the
Animals-
first one we started.
I remember when that came out. I was like, oh yeah. Animals.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And everyone like pitched in, and Eric was doing the website, and Joyce was helping with all the Chinese stuff, and we'd all go out and try and do rescues or raise money in the beginning.
Yeah.
But I was the only one that could really commit to it full time.
Okay.
So that's what ended up happening.
Gotcha.
And I had to move because of neighbors complaining about the dogs in my house.
Okay.
And so we decided we didn't have any money in those days, but I said, if we build a place, because I just watched that Field of Dreams.
Yes. Build it, and they will come.
Yeah.
If we build it.
Yeah. But we knew we're not going to get support until we have a place, until we can show that we are serious.
Okay.
And so we found a house,
I would guess in this area. No.
Shulin.
Shilin. Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's in the area that's been converted into the all the car showrooms and things now, next
Okay.
to the river.
Gotcha.
We moved in there. And I lived above the shelter, and we had about 60 or 70 dogs, and then we had a bunch of cats. And I just loved it.
Do you have to keep them separate? Because I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you have, right? I would
Yeah.
imagine so. Okay.
My own cat, she would jump out the window, jump into a tree, and then jump out so she could go wandering around outside.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, you got to keep them separate. And really, cats shouldn't be anywhere near dogs just because of the stress.
Yeah.
So now we have our cat sanctuary that's like a 10-minute drive away from the dog sanctuary.
Okay. Okay.
It's much more peaceful for them.
Well. Okay. So you started with dogs and cats, but I have seen like videos and stuff of you with different kind of animals.
Oh yeah,
like everything. It's
yeah.
Like what are some of the other ones that were kind of like what is let me do
in
this.
Taiwan? Well,
in Taiwan, yeah, anywhere, but
tigers.
Taiwan. Tigers.
So I immediately got a reputation. Like there's this guy that's rescuing animals.
Yeah.
And someone emailed because he found 6 tigers being kept in 2 cages.
6 tigers.
6 tigers kept in 2 cages, smaller than your bar.
Really?
Yeah.
How the hell did that happen? Like
it was some kind of
circus
park that closed down.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
but we just wrote to the government, and that was enough.
Okay.
They went and they busted the guy, and I think the tigers got moved to a zoo. So that also made me realize you don't have to go out and do everything. Sometimes it's just a matter of putting the right people in touch with each other.
Okay.
So, and eagles, really anything. If you call me to say there's an injured snail on the side of the road, I'll probably come and get it.
What should, like, the average person who likes animals but has no idea what to do, if they see, let's say, a bird on the sidewalk that maybe, let's say, has a broken wing, or what should they just call you, or should they try to take it home, or like what advice would you give to somebody who's not you but kind of wants to save the animal?
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It'll just grow. Before you know it, your life will be a nightmare.
Okay.
So the first thing I would do is, before you call me, is see if you can secure the animal.
Okay.
But it depends on the animals. A lot of people don't want to touch even an injured cat.
Yeah.
If it's a puppy, they might. If it's a kitten, they might. Some don't even want to grab an injured pigeon.
Okay.
But we just put something over it so it's there, so that when I jump in my car and drive all the way there, the animal's still going to be there. Sometimes if they tell us it's really weak and they'll send us a video,
a little bit closer. Sorry. Oh, good. Okay.
We'll beg them to
get
the animal to a vet, because by the time I get there, it might die.
Might be too late. Okay.
But it's a good question, because what people don't often do is let me know exactly where the animal is.
Okay.
No, they'll send me a picture, right? There's an injured dog
On a sidewalk.
on the side of the road.
In Taiwan.
Yeah. And okay, where exactly? I don't know, I've left. You've left.
Why'd you leave him? Oh, no.
And very often you'll see me driving around in the countryside,
Okay.
looking for a particular patch of moss or a break in the white line on the side of the road that's exactly the same as where the dog was.
That's tough. Oh, man.
So the second thing is, if you can, try and secure the animal in some way.
Okay.
Make sure you've made it easy for the rescuer to find it.
Okay. Put some kind of a flag or something, whatever, the equivalent of a flag there.
Take a step back. Don't just take a picture of the dog. Take the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And if there's
maybe a drop a Google pin or something, if that's possible.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Not everyone can do that.
Yeah.
But you can take a picture of a nearby telegraph pole, which has its own number on it, so I can just count the numbers up.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because there's a good chance the dog's not going to be exactly where you saw it, but I need to start off at a point.
Gotcha.
And then, that's basically it. See if you can secure the animal, and then call me in, but let me know exactly how to get there.
Okay. And so you are going anywhere in Taiwan?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We try and limit it. So we call ourselves, we'll rescue animals in northern Taiwan. But if no one else is going, we'll go. We did one rescue a few years ago. It was in a remote village just outside Tarako Gorge. And it was a 6-hour hike, a 2-hour climb.
And it was, what animal was it?
It was a dog with both front feet cut off by traps or snares.
Okay. Ooh.
And there was a hiking group that had seen the dog.
Okay, yeah.
One of the hiking group was actually someone who was on the board of directors for another rescue group, but they decided no one's going to go. No one's going to go that far. But
so they called the crazy British guy that he'll make the 6-hour hike. He'll do it.
We got interviewed by the dodo, and in the interview I was saying, so it's this 6-hour hike, 2 hours up and 4 hours along, and then 4 hours back and 2 hours down, and it needs to be done in one day. And I said, so you've either got to be a really experienced hiker or totally stupid. So I said, I'll go. And I brought my experienced hiker friend.
There you go. Okay.
Ross, Ross is brilliant. He does these. He organises these. Yes, you should interview him at one point.
Please hook me up.
He organises these amazing mountain escapes. He'll take you. He calls it high mountain hiking.
Introduce me, man. I'd love to. I'd love to. Yeah.
So he's great when I get a dog in a remote area. Ross knows the area. He knows the Aboriginals in the area.
Okay.
It's a little bit annoying, to be honest, but he gets us there.
Okay.
He's amazing. So he got me up there and back in one day.
Oh, wow.
And luckily the dog was there.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Very
so
cool.
how do we get on to, what was the question? Anyway,
you answered the question of like what should the average person do?
Yeah.
You know, secure, try to get an accurate location for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lady who reported that, luckily it was outside a guest house and we knew exactly where the guest house was.
Okay, beautiful. So about a month ago, I was coming back from the gym in the morning. Usually I take my daughter to school and then I walk up to World Gym, do my thing, and then I come back and I found a little bird, like a tiny, like this big. It was, and it was just on the sidewalk. And I walked by it and it was tiny. I'm like, what is going on? This little bird is here, right? And so I stayed and I tried to, I gave it some water and I tried to kind of, like it must have fell out of the nest.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
was it
no,
fledgling?
It was a little green bird. It was super cute. It was ridiculously. It was not a bird I've seen before here.
Wow.
So I was kind of like, and I was kind of freaking out, and people were just kind of walking by, and I was like, oh my gosh, what should I do? And in the very end, I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna take it home, I guess, right? So when I went to grab it, it flew into like a kind of a safe, kind of a camouflage, like a bush sort of. So I said, okay, so at least it's safe, right? It's safer than if I grab it and take it home. So I went back like a couple times after that and it was gone. It was fine. But I was freaking out. I was like, this tiny, it was tiny. It was
some of them you don't realize how small they are.
Yeah, it was
like
crazy.
Bats. When we rescue bats, people always say there's a baby bat, and it's not. It's a pipistrelle. A pipistrelle bat is about as big as the last segment of your thumb.
Okay.
Tiny thing.
So amazing.
The bird groups will tell you if it's fallen out of the nest, just leave it there. But it's so difficult to do.
The thing was this big. I was like, oh my gosh.
But also you're on the road, there's cats and dogs. And so
and
the
big
next
birds.
thing is try and put it up somewhere.
Yeah, and I mean, the nest was like in this massive tree.
Yeah.
And the other birds were kind of coming down. And I was like, okay, so they're trying to keep an eye on them. And it was like, I was freaking out a little bit. But then eventually when I went to actually say, screw it, I'm just going to grab it, it kind of flew into like a bush and it kind of like hid. And I'm like, okay, at least I can't even see it anymore. I'll come by a few more times today. And then it was gone. So
very often I'll see a bird on the side of the road and the first thing is, can it fly?
Yeah.
So I've got the net. I don't want to immediately net the poor thing because it might be quite prepared to fly off.
Yeah. So this one was fine in the end, I think, but that was
very often they're just stunned by something.
Okay.
And they're just on the side of the road waiting to get their faculties back.
Okay.
So if he was in the hedge, it's probably fine.
It was okay. Yeah. I mean, it was cool. I took a picture of it and stuff. Super cute. Let's grab the next one. You want to do that? So the next one is like a Korean. So it should be a little spicier. About halfway through. Hey, thanks, man. It should be a little bit spicier. So yeah, just grab one of those. That's kind of our only fusion style wing. Yeah.
Alrighty.
So this one is Korean. Yeah.
It looks good. It's very messy.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah. It's been sitting there. Yeah. Yes.
Holy.
Yeah. So it's a bit spicier. It's the next level.
The next two are hotter.
Hotter than that. Yeah. So we can stop the wing anytime. But
I won't have to stop the video.
Yeah. There you go. So I'm curious. Two-part question. If you can. It's pretty hot. That's why the horchata's here, man. Yeah. So
that's about my.
That's about
limit,
the limit
usually, but I'll keep going.
The enjoyable limit. I mean, the last two are. This one and this one are kind of the same. That one's crazy. So we'll see how we get there. But
this wasn't mentioned when you wrote to me.
Well, we can stop anytime, bro.
No,
we can stop at any time.
It's just usually.
Yeah.
In England, we'll do this after we've been out to the pub all night.
Okay.
And the only restaurants that are open are Indian restaurants.
Okay.
And you'll say, give me the hottest one, because you're drunk.
Because you're drunk, yeah. And
you can handle the first three mouthfuls because you're drunk, and then suddenly...
You're like, boom, man, the stomach explodes, yeah. So this two-part question here. What kind of, like, response have you received from, let's say, first part, let's say the foreigners, the expats, and the second part of the question is, like, the locals. Like, what kind of a response have you received from both of them?
It's been amazing. Not everyone tries to burn my mouth off.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, we can.
Hang on. me get this down.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
Wow. The flavor's good.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you.
What was the question
Your
again?
horchata helps. The horchata helps.
Okay.
So 2-part question.
Now I know why it's there.
That's why it's there. Yeah. You can have milk
I'm
if
sweating.
you need. So basically, what kind of a reception have you got from like the foreigners who know what you're doing, the expats kind of know what you're doing? And then second part of the question is, what about the locals? How do they feel about kind of what you're doing?
It's always been amazing. The support
Both.
has always been incredible.
Okay.
We became $1 million charity.
Okay.
In the last charity, the act that we started,
Okay.
which is a combination of a UK charity and a Taiwan charity,
Gotcha.
we became $1 million charity within 4 years,
Okay. Wow.
starting from nothing.
Gotcha.
And all the other charities that I started are still going strong, and they're maybe $500,000
Okay.
each. But the majority of the support is from locals.
Really interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. 'Cause
90%, 95%.
when I go through the pictures and stuff, it seems like there's a lot of expats volunteering and stuff. Like the horchata should be good. Give it a stir and then
I'm
go
not
for
falling
it.
for that. That is, if you come here, that is not a straw.
It's not a straw.
I've done that so many times.
It's one of the first to actually not fall for it. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah,
Support is incredible.
support's incredible. Okay.
What I discovered was, and actually one of the reasons why I started Animals Taiwan, it wasn't just to help the animals, it was to help people who wanted to help animals but couldn't. And what I would hear so often when someone gave me a donation was, you're doing what I would love to do, but I can't. I've got, family, kids, I've got an important job, I can't do it. And I'd hear that a lot. So people love supporting it because they want to, it's something they'd love to do themselves, but they love seeing the difference that it makes.
Okay.
So the UK charity brings in about £100,000 a year. The Taiwan charity has taken a dip since COVID because
Yeah. Of course.
well, no, actually, it wasn't because of COVID. I'm just saying, well, it kind of is. The government department that deals with fundraising licenses were writing back to Judy, my wife, to say, look, we've had your application, but we can't deal with it yet. Everyone's off. That time when you get a ping and you've got to stay home.
Yes. Gotcha.
They had a huge stack of applications they couldn't get through.
Okay.
So we had to wait. And then eventually they said, or someone reported us, and we had no license anyway.
Okay.
But we haven't been allowed to actually appeal for donations for the Taiwan charity. And yet still we're bringing in about 1.5 to 2 million every month.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I think, what sometimes, I'm putting my daughter to sleep. She wants me to lay there. And, I'm just kind of
Don't
browsing.
say to an animal guy you're putting your daughter to sleep. It's
That's not a good thing to say, I guess. So
What did she do wrong? My God, man.
What happened? What did she do, right? Any tips? No. So, and I'm just kind of on YouTube. I kind of want to watch something that's like nice and some fun. And there seem to be a lot of YouTube channels of like animal rescuers, dogs and cats, and they're massive.
Yeah.
These channels are huge. I mean, people will go. I've seen some from like India, some from Russia.
India.
Massive channels.
In India, you're probably watching Animal SOS. I forgot what it's called. No, International. What do they call it? I saw the Indian one. They've got each video will get like 2 million.
Yeah, like massive views, right? So, I mean, is that something that is doable? I mean, these guys are just carrying a cell phone, or are they strapping on a GoPro, or what's the? Would that help? I mean,
what you mean? Help the
charity here? I mean,
okay,
is that a thing?
One of our videos, we've had a few videos that gone viral.
Yeah.
One went viral with the dodo. That's one of those channels.
Yeah, that's massive. That's a massive channel.
Yeah, you just watch it. And you just
I saw a guy rescue a rabbit. Like this guy, it's like, I would say 20, 25-year-old African-American guy. He rescues this little white rabbit. He sees it and he's like, this doesn't look like a wild rabbit. He rescues it and it's just like they're best friends. And it's like, oh, this is a great, that was the dodo. That was the first video I've seen of theirs.
Did he get loads of hits?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. If it's showing up on my feed that has never seen anything about the dodo, it's like, oh, It was amazing.
Well, they know what they're doing. They're just touching everyone,
Yeah.
and they'll get so many views. So they did a story about us, the rescue I just told you about, Sandy, the one with both legs cut off.
Sure.
And it got like 6 million views, I think, in the end,
Beautiful.
or maybe more.
Okay.
And we did get a little bump in donations,
Okay.
but not as much as we thought we would.
Okay.
Maybe 150,000.
But would it be possible for you guys to strap on some GoPros and then hire an editor and then kind of have like the YouTube channel bringing in some like AdSense revenue?
So
is that a thing? I mean, I don't know.
We've tried it. We've tried the long form videos,
Yeah.
and we had an editor that worked for us from Fiverr.
Like, check this out. Boom.
Professional.
Like this guy right here with the strap
That's
and the
Ro-
strap
that's
and the
Ross
GoPro.
on the right.
Oh yeah. There's I mean that yeah. Well, that's a GoPro. That's a Hero 4, so that's a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
okay.
but it takes time to edit the video.
Oh, I know.
And if you
Yeah.
get the professionals to do it,
It's expensive.
well, it wasn't too expensive, but it takes him a little bit of time. And we just found that the amount of it definitely got us interest. It got views,
Okay.
but it didn't necessarily bring in
Didn't
donations.
bring any money. Ah.
What brought in donations was
Okay.
the shorter ones, like a 15-second video of a dog that's been hit by a car, a bit of slow motion,
Yeah.
getting to the vet, and then asking, please, support
Okay.
Animal Care Trust, rescuing animals in Taiwan, and that would bring in more.
Because I think now everything is moving towards the
Short
short form, the TikTok and
Yeah.
the shorts and the Instagram reels and stuff like that. So I mean, that's also another thing. Like I was saying, I have the long, hour-long podcast, and I just purchased sort of a software that I upload the podcast to, and it'll take AI and it'll kind of find most of the best clips, and then you can kind of edit them still, and it'll have the subtitles and stuff on it. So yeah, I mean, I'm starting to push that hard, and it's pretty cool. It's definitely cool. So I think that could be something.
It's just so difficult to stay on top of things, because by the time you know what's working,
Yeah. Oh, I know that.
it's going to be flooded, and something else is taking off.
That's true. That is
And now
true.
with AI, it's going to be exponential. I mean,
Yeah.
the changes and everything. Eventually, everyone's going to go, just stop it.
Yeah, for
Just-
sure.
yeah.
Stop the AI. Yeah.
The biggest problem for us has been when I used to make posts on Facebook.
Yeah.
I can make a post, and I had at the time, I don't know, about 15,000 followers.
Yeah.
I can make a post, and I could easily get 100,000 NT from one post about a dog,
Love that.
because it would be seen by enough people. But since Facebook started really pushing its
Almost like
advertising, which is
paid.
why you're now seeing only one of your friends' posts followed by 5
Yeah.
ads,
Yeah.
they won't show anywhere near as many. 2% now. It used to be 16 to 20% of your
Yeah,
friends and
it's gone
followers.
down a
now
lot.
it's 2%.
So do you guys have the business account, with the paid ads
Yeah.
and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And does that help? Or?
It does. I mean,
okay.
That's how we managed to get the Taiwan charity up to $1 million charity.
Gotcha. Okay.
For every, say, 10,000 NT we spent on ads,
Okay.
we could bring in about 80,000 in revenue.
Yeah, that's perfect. That sounds good.
Yeah, and that's acceptable for an animal charity. If you can, an
that's
animal
good
charity,
for any business, to be
True.
honest, man. You put $1 in, you get 8 out. That's
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
That was in the early days. Once you've got all the low-hanging fruit, then you're probably going to get down to about 4 times.
Okay. But still, yeah.
Which is our it's a perfect figure for us, because an animal rescue charity must be seen to be only spending between 20 and 35% of its revenue on administration and
Gotcha.
advertising, marketing.
Okay.
So us bringing in 4 times what we're spending is the actual perfect amount.
Gotcha.
So it does work for us, but it all depends. Once the algorithm changes, you've got to go and buy another
that's
course
true.
and learn
I
how
know.
to do it again.
I love it. That's funny because, well, aside from you now, I'm one of the few guys that I know in Taiwan that just keeps buying the freaking Facebook ads courses, and I just bought an Instagram one, and we've got a question here real quick. Is Animals Taiwan still active?
It is.
It is.
Yeah,
Okay.
when they had to move, they found, as they should have done, just a quiet spot.
Okay.
I think it's somewhere like Linko or something like
Oh,
that.
nice.
I've never been.
Okay.
And it's more like a shelter. But I think they still do some rescues.
Okay.
But not like we did. It was rescue, bring them in, rehome them. It seems to be a little bit quieter.
Okay.
But they've got a nice little space there for the animals.
Beautiful.
They're all doing well. The Animals Taiwan, the SPCA, which I started in 2009.
Then
That's
there's
doing
the
well.
pack.
Then
right?
PAC, which I started in
You started that as well?
11.
So there's all of these different associations. I mean, for lack of a better question, does everybody play nice? Is everybody friendly together? Is it kind of, I mean, like, for example, I know you, I would call you, but I know you were with the pack and now you're doing your own thing.
Yeah.
So
whenever I left, it wasn't a very friendly leaving.
Okay.
But we don't do much with animals Taiwan just because they're not really, they've just got the shelter side of things, as far as I know.
Okay. You can't just say, hey, you're in the area, you guys take this one?
Yeah.
Like, there's no, like, network of, everybody working together?
There should be. There needs to be an app.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Because we'll get a call for a rescue.
Yeah.
And it's like a 3-hour drive, and I'll say, have you asked anybody else? Because I'm happy to come.
Yeah.
And then I get there and someone else is there rescuing the dog.
You're like, what?
Yeah, it needs an app to say there's a dog there, we're going to get it.
Even just the friggin' line group, like, it's just like,
yeah.
Is anyone taking this one? No,
yeah.
I'm taking it. I got it. Yeah, anything.
Honestly, that would be a blessing. We should do that. But it's trying to get them all working together.
That's my question.
We've worked with, we took over all of PAC's cats.
Okay.
A little while ago.
Gotcha.
And some of their dogs. In fact, the two on the picture you had there.
Yes. Let me did it. Where are we at?
A pig for the SPCA. It's just, okay, the best way I can put it is people who are into animals, more than the general population, don't get along with people.
I've actually noticed a lot of this, actually.
Yeah.
And
I'm the same. I mean, I'm not really into doing everything that everyone else does. I'm kind of a bit more of a loner.
Yeah.
And so they don't trust each other. The worst things that have ever happened to us have been done by other animal people. Not by the bad guys, not the ones that we go and report and get videos of
not
putting
the
down the traps and
poachers or
snares.
the traps or whatever.
No, not the gangsters who've tried to muscle in.
Okay.
None of those have done anything bad. It's always the animal lovers that do bad things to us.
Shoot. Okay.
That's
sad, man.
If you've been feeding a bunch of stray dogs for the last 20 years and then some foreigner comes along and says, I need to rescue that one, he's hurt his leg, they instantly don't trust us. And why would they? I'm a stranger. I don't know this dog like they do.
Yeah.
And that's generally how it is you've got your own ways. And in animal rescue, it's not science.
Okay.
It's not like you can say, well, it's got to be done like this, like this, like this. It's a bit like cooking in that if you're going to make a certain dish, it's got to be done a certain way. But you can make your own little tweaks, right?
Of course.
It's the little tweaks that make a huge difference.
Okay.
Because for us, of course, animal rescue, it's a very, very passionate thing.
Sure.
So we all believe we know best. We all believe we know the best ways.
Okay.
And so you're going to have differences.
But so it's like normal life then, basically.
I don't know. I've never had.
You don't have a normal life. Okay. Okay.
But it's a shame because we achieve so much more when we work together.
Yeah. The rising tide,
Yeah, but I'm a lot more understanding now, and also I realize a lot of the differences that I've had with people, I used to blame them for, but I realize now, actually, I should take at least half the responsibility. But I much prefer just doing things by myself. My wife is much better at dealing with people, so she takes care of all the big problem. I'll say to her, she'll say, oh, someone just called to say that you are cutting off dogs' legs to raise money. We get this kind of thing all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
or someone's written to say we shouldn't be adopting dogs out to Asian people. And I'm like, so I say, tell them this, and there'll be a few expletives in there.
Yeah, of course.
But she'll, of course, reply much more diplomatically than me.
Well, you've got to have that. So you've got to have kind of the balance with the husband and like my wife and I. Obviously, we built this, and we're almost on the extreme opposites of same as probably maybe you and your wife. Like, there's the good cop, bad cop, and my wife is kind of just like this is it, and then I'll kind of be like, all right, but we can't if we say it like that.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. But if we kind of go, soften it up a little bit. Yeah.
I need a filter. So, my friends who've known me the longest would say, yeah, he needs a filter.
But I mean, but the thing is, you're out actually doing it. Like, you're not one of those guys that's sitting there saying, we should do this, we should do that. You're actually doing it. I mean, which is also, I understand that side as well, because sometimes, they'll be like, okay, we need to get this done, For example, like a lot of like my wife included, like some Taiwanese people, like, okay, we need to have a meeting, we need to organize this and that. I'm like, I'm already gone doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So I understand.
Yeah.
I understand both ways as well. Like, I'm just going to go do it. You guys can talk whatever you want. Like, okay, let's say there's these 5 barrels of water that need to go to the 10th floor, you know? Okay, so well, who are we going to call? No, I'm going to just do it. I'm just going to throw it on my back and do it. I don't even want to talk about it.
But we think that's a great way of doing things. But for some people, it's quite frustrating because they want to make sure everything's going to be okay. And a lot of the differences I've had with boards of directors in the past is that I'm very gung-ho.
Yeah,
and of course, they're very careful.
Yeah.
But the best way I can put it is, for them, they've got budgets.
Okay.
And I try and explain, for me, if I've rescued a dog, I don't say, well, how much is in my veterinary care budget this month? I've only got to make a Facebook post. And I'll get all the money for it.
Agree.
So there's these different ways of doing things, and I totally understand theirs, but I'm more gung-ho.
Yeah. Well, there's a dog that needs help. You're just gonna do it.
I'm not gonna say.
You're not gonna be like, sorry, buddy. Can you hold on for 2 weeks?
Or that's what I say. There's an eagle. There's an injured eagle. I'm not gonna say, well, let me find out how to rescue. No, I'll just go there. I'll get the eagle, and then we'll work out what we're gonna do with it. So. But I can get criticised for that, but it's never gone wrong. We've been stretched quite a lot. But really, we're quite lucky in that we're not the most well-known animal rescue in Taiwan.
Okay.
Those ones are getting really stretched. But our level of being asked for help is about the same as the level of help we can give. We're quite lucky in that regard. We have some limits.
Okay.
It's too far away. Someone else is already going.
Okay.
Or it's not really a dog that needs our help.
Okay.
But yeah, we're quite lucky in that regard that we've managed to keep to a manageable level on the whole.
If anybody wants to donate, in the description below, I put the links. So if anybody wants to donate to ACT,
And we have very low admin costs right now. Just very low. It's all going directly on the animals.
That's great.
Yeah,
I love that.
So that's to the UK charity.
Should we keep
I'm
going?
trying to keep talking before you point to the next.
No problem. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, I can go through some pictures.
Let me get the
Want to go through some, or want to do that, and then we'll go through the pictures.
Let's do it. Come on.
Let's do it. Okay, grab one of these. So this is one of the ones made from a company called Empress Hot Sauces, and this is a ghost pepper.
Pepper?
But it's very well balanced, so it's not like it's great. It's great. Sometimes this one is spicier than that. Like hot sauces kind of have a life of their own. They kind of are, high and low and high and low. Sometimes they mellow out. Sometimes they get hotter. So
I'm not appreciating the marketing right now.
Well,
Okay,
we're gung-ho. We're the gung-ho, right? So let's go,
One looks bigger than the other.
So take whatever you want, brother. I mean,
okay, I'm going to go for
take the big one, man. Get
do it.
in on it. Get in on that, yeah.
I'm all in. I said I was gung-ho.
So while we do that, I will go through some pictures.
Great.
Yeah, and then you can tell me what's going on in the picture
I'll
here.
try.
Number one, look at you with your long hair. I think that was the first time, one of the first, when I met you the first time, you had the long hair, and you only recently cut it, I think, right? In the last year or so?
Yeah, maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I had it long for a long time.
You had it long for a long time, yeah.
I'm not sure why I did, just wanted to change.
Okay.
That's Moppy.
Okay.
That's a dog that I rescued 14 years ago.
Okay.
And she was born with puppy swimmer syndrome, which is when they don't have the muscles that keep their legs in place, and they splay out.
Okay.
And she was in a cage in another rescue organization, in a room with no lights, rusty cages, no air conditioning.
Really?
We wanted to look around, and the woman wanted to show us because she wanted us to try and help. And she opened this door, and these dogs started barking, and it was just rusty cages with cobwebs.
Oh, that's awful.
And Moppy was in there. And after we finished looking around...
What do you do in a situation like that? You just grab her right off? You can't just grab her, can you?
I couldn't at the time.
Yeah.
And I went home and I couldn't stop thinking about her. And that's when I just started the SPCA. So we went back with the SPCA and we adopted out a few dogs and a civet that was in there in a cage surrounded by barking dogs.
Jeez.
It's not their fault. They're the one. That's the group I was saying that's very overwhelmed. What can they do? Do they leave a dog on the side of the road with his leg hanging off to say we're full? I do understand it.
It's tough. It's a tough call to make.
But I just thought no one's going to adopt her. She's just this flat little pancake.
Yeah, it's cute though.
She
cute.
really is. And so I had her 14 years. She was at least 2 years old when I got her because she was fully grown.
Okay.
And so she lived to be more than 16, which is longer than most dogs get to live.
Yeah, for sure.
And we swear it's because we feed raw.
I was going to say I got a picture of diet here of one of the things, so I want to we'll bring that up when we get there. But next one we got
This one is tamer than that
tamer, right? See, there you go, right? So there you go. We got some puppies here.
one. Oh.
They're cute too, man. Do you guys get a lot of puppies? Rescue a lot of puppies?
We try not to, but luckily they get adopted quite easily.
Like stray puppies? Is that what it is? Or
Okay, if there's puppies been abandoned with no mum around, then we probably will.
okay,
These two, if I remember rightly, is Hansel and Gretel.
Hansel, good name. Ooh, very good names. Okay,
We got a picture of a dog, an adult dog, with a snare. I think it was around her belly. Or no, she had a snare on her leg, but she'd already lost a front foot.
oh, geez.
So Ross went and he caught her really quickly.
These are stray dogs usually, right? Okay,
Yeah, usually stray dogs.
Okay,
Ross caught her really quickly, but when he got to the vet, they noticed that she was lactating.
oh,
And so Ross went back, we got a thermal imaging camera, and he was looking,
Wow.
and he was playing a video of puppies crying.
puppy's crying. Okay,
And he found them. That's why we call them Hansel and Gretel. 'cause
That's
it was these,
amazing.
babes in the wood.
that's so smart.
brought them out.
Wow, beautiful.
We still got one of them. We've still got Gretel because
Are they? I mean, they're not puppies anymore. Yeah.
no. We have this rule where if we rescue a mum who has puppies, we'll usually let her keep one of the female pups
Okay.
because it seems kind of cruel.
It's tough. Yeah.
Like you've rescued her, she's been in a snare while she's giving birth and feeding,
yeah.
doing everything she can
To stay alive and
sacrificing
take care of
herself to
everything.
take care of them. Yeah,
And then you just.
and then we give them all away.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. 100%.
In nature, female puppies will tend to stay with mum for a while.
Okay.
And they'll often help to take care of the next litter. So we'll let a mum keep one female pup.
That's awesome. I think that's great.
Which is why those two dogs I showed you before, Beautiful and Sky,
Okay.
they've been together forever. But she's very shy. She could never get adopted without her mum anyway.
Gotcha. Okay. Get a next one. So some of them are a little bit. Some of the pictures there, right?
Oh,
Yes.
baboon.
Yeah.
Can you see why we call him
Yes,
baboon?
yes, for sure. Yeah. So this situation, like what's happened? Is it like a skin infection or skin disease or?
Are you talking about me now?
There you go. No.
This kicks in after
at the end.
There's a delay.
Okay, good. Yeah. We got the horchata. We got
I know
unlimited
what we
whatever.
Okay, so. Oh, give me a second.
No problem.
Oh, that is good though.
All right. Appreciate it.
So
So tell me the story behind this.
we got
dog.
a phone call. Actually, this is very soon
okay.
after we rescued him.
Okay.
There was a dog on the side of the road. They sent us a picture, and we were like, "My God, we got to help this one."
Yeah.
So we rescued him. He was such a nice dog, and we took him to a normal vet to get everything else checked out. He had other problems going on, and then we took him to a skin specialist, but she couldn't work out exactly what the problem was. But
Yeah.
we put him onto a raw diet. We spray watermelon powder. Well, I'm glad you're sweating as much as me.
No, I'm joking on the last one.
You're half Mexican, so I'm feeling much
there
better
you
about
go.
this.
Yeah.
I don't believe that raw cures everything, but if you want to give a dog the very best chance of, how should we say, self-repair?
Okay.
Because we all have the ability. We all have an immune system, right?
100%. Yeah.
We know that skin scars very well, and for a dog to be able to heal itself, it must have the
nutrients, the vitamins, and all that stuff.
that
Of course.
feeds it, right?
Of course. Yeah.
So, of course, a dog with a bone problem needs to be eating bone because all the nutrients he needs, all the building
from the
blocks of bone are
Like
in
the-
bone.
Okay.
Meat and meat. We know
Yeah.
that a dog with heart problems or a cat benefits from eating heart.
Okay.
Liver benefits from eating liver. So this is just basic common sense.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I
makes sense.
might have gone off track a little bit. We put him onto the raw diet. Always they go onto raw to give them the very best chance of getting better. And most of that is all closed in now.
Okay.
If you see him today, I think he's just got a tiny little patch on his nose or something.
Really?
It all closed up.
And that was just self-healing, raw diet.
Well, I shouldn't say it because we did get antibiotics, but the vet didn't know what was wrong. So she said, antibiotics, steroids. You can't give steroids for very long.
Okay. Yeah.
In the end, it just
would
came
lose
down
their
to
effectiveness, I guess. Right? Yeah.
he was living in a cage, eating the crappiest dry food. We know because someone reported, the guy who reported this dog to us knows the neighbors.
Okay.
I suspected he came from there. So we give raw food just because they got the very, very best chance.
Okay.
We rescued a dog called Mona, a black dog who'd fallen asleep at the side of the road, and a car or scooter had driven over her foot.
Okay.
And it had just exploded.
Oof.
And you could see the bones, and it was
I think I have the picture.
It was like as big as my hand. And the vet said, you got to amputate. And we get that, oh, that's it.
That's it, yeah. There you go.
So we get this a lot. You've got to amputate, you've got to amputate. And we say, look, if there's no serious infection, because if there's infection, you've got to get it off before it spreads. Can we try our way? And we use younger vets now, and they're more open-minded.
That makes sense. Makes sense, yeah.
And we feed raw. We spray iodine because it's just a very benevolent. It doesn't have many side effects. They can lick it, it's fine.
Okay.
We spray that as to clean the bacteria.
Okay.
Let it dry for 5 minutes, and then we spray with watermelon powder.
Okay.
And this is what happens. That's 5 days.
That's crazy.
Literally, the meat is growing over the bones.
Yes, that's amazing.
And,
so watermelon powder, where did that come from? I mean, is that...
in America, they call it watermelon frost, and it's for canker sores. Or in England, we call them ulcers.
Okay, okay.
So it's the rind of watermelon,
Okay.
dried.
Yep.
And you spray it on, and it just helps to heal it really quickly.
Wow.
But it can heal massive injuries as well.
Apparently, yeah.
And I just got a photo of this dog. So we rescued this dog last year. I got a photo update 3 days ago. It's completely healed over.
Really?
And there's fur growing back and everything.
Really? Wow.
And she uses it when she's walking, but when she stops, she holds it up.
Okay.
But then she uses it when she's walking.
Okay.
And because what we said to the vet was, look, even if she can never really use it, it's the best prosthetic.
Yeah.
It's better to have that can't do anything than, a lump of titanium or something that's going to have to be fixed to the end of her bone.
Yeah.
And this happens so often that we can save a dog.
Yeah.
We had one who had a snare on his foot.
I might have another. Yeah.
All the way down to the bone. They wanted to amputate, and I thought, nah, this is impossible because it's down to the bone. But and honestly, within, I think it was 19 days, you would not know that he'd almost lost his leg.
Really?
Yeah. And
That's
I sound like a weird
No, it's great.
hippie, but it's common sense.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I mean, and I think the raw diet is not common sense, because when we are raised and, we have dogs, I was raised with dogs and stuff, everybody just buys dog food. And I think everybody thinks that's normal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when did it become dogs eat dog food as opposed to dogs eat raw food?
1939.
Oh, okay.
So this was in England, 1939. War broke out, and we used to take our dogs. We go to the butcher, we get the meat for the family, and ask the butcher to throw in a meaty bone for the dog.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you know when? The previous oldest dog in the world.
Okay.
Lived to be 29 and a half years old, and he died in 1939, just before dog food was invented.
Okay.
So what happened was there was no food at the butcher's to give to the dogs because we needed it for the general population, right?
Sure.
So what was happening was all the rancid meat and the rotten grain was cooked together to create a dog biscuit.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's the origins of dog food.
Yes. And so after the war ended, it was too late. It had become an industry. And they were being sold as, I think they had a weird name for them, dog cakes or something like that.
Give your dog a cake. Yeah. Wow.
Never went back. And the dogs were alive. This is 5 years later.
Okay.
But that's not a long-term study.
And that's a way for them to kind of, instead of throwing away stuff, they kind of turn it into profit.
It's like turning garbage. Yeah. It's like putting garbage into compost, but they think just put it in the dog. Dog's fine.
Dog's fine.
But since then, even with these so-called scientific diets, which are just basically dry pellets with things in them to keep the food on the shelf for as long as possible, not for the dog.
Yeah.
Even with all these scientific formulas, they're not able to get dogs living anywhere near as long as that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's Yeah, I actually didn't even know until I met you and you talked about all the raw stuff, and I thought, really, because we're taught like, oh no, they can't eat raw because they're gonna get sick.
Bones.
We don't eat raw because we'd get sick, so they're the same as us.
Yeah, we can eat raw. There are people that do it. And
that is true.
Healthy.
That's true. Yeah,
but that's another story. You need to interview someone else for that one.
That's another story.
But it just makes sense. You just got to say, when I say to the vet, are you telling me that your dry pellets that have been on the shelf for 6 months full of all these chemicals that are not good for dogs and carbohydrates that are only in there so it can be stored for a long time. Dogs don't need carbohydrates.
Yeah, well,
dogs need protein and fat. That's where they get the healthiest nutrition from. Are they really trying to say that these ultra-processed foods, because this isn't high processed, this is ultra-processed, is better than fresh food?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
If
you think about that, it doesn't make sense at all. Yeah.
Not at all, but of course...
It's just something you're taught. It's like the breakfast is the most important meal of the day, made by cornflakes.
Yeah.
Right? Like cornflakes is like, hey, breakfast is the most, buy our cornflakes.
The healthiest people don't have breakfast.
Yeah, nobody eats breakfast. I don't have breakfast either.
No.
Yeah,
and I'm fantastic.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I just went to the gym yesterday.
Yeah, no, you don't need breakfast. And I mean, if I do get breakfast, I feel groggy. Yeah. Especially you were talking about carbs. Especially if you go carb heavy. I'm just like almost need to take a nap after breakfast.
I'm the same.
It's crazy.
I'm the same. When I'm on a rescue,
like
if it's late night rescue, even though I've already had my whole day's food, I feel like I should eat something. And when you're stressed and tired, you're attracted to the carbs and the
carbs
salty
and sugar,
fats.
Sugar, all that.
And
stuff.
I'll eat it, and then I'll wake up in the car outside the 7-Eleven.
It's like a hangover.
Yeah, it's like literally I'll eat the thing because I think that's high energy, and boom, I'm gone.
Yeah,
but
the carbs.
It just makes sense. But unfortunately, the pet food companies now control all the veterinary colleges in the US.
Ooh.
Every single one, which is like McDonald's controlling your doctor's knowledge of nutrition.
I remember growing up, it was the food nutritional pyramid that they taught us in school.
Which is upside down.
Upside down, which is crazy, right? Yeah, I remember that.
It's so frustrating.
You should mostly eat carbs. Yeah.
I think the most important thing that people have to understand, whether it's our health or our dog's health, is that when you're buying something, you're buying into an industry. Okay. And the industry has one goal, and that is the bottom line. That's the profit.
For sure.
If that means being nice to your dog, then they're going to be nice to your dog so they can increase their profit. But for them to get the most profit, they can't be quite so nice to your dog. They've got to put cheap ingredients in and convince you that the garbage in a bag is the best.
And fillers and just like whatever to keep the little caking agents in there, and then like it's. What about dog treats? Like all that, like the pepperoni and all that stuff.
No,
like, tell me about that. I don't have a dog, but I have a rabbit, and I love my little rabbit. But
there's two important points. One, very quickly, is the time. You don't want to be giving treats because it's like intermittent fasting. We know it's so beneficial to you because the less time your body spends eating, the more time it spends preparing itself, healing. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you don't want to be treating dogs all day any longer than you have to. We feed ours once a day.
Okay. Really?
So So if it comes to treats, try and give it not too far.
That insulin spike thing, keep it kind of close, right? Okay, yeah.
So then you come to the actual treat. Your dog doesn't know what is healthy or not. He's going to eat whatever you're going to give him.
Yeah.
They know what a high value food is. But you can teach your dog just like you can teach your kids. I teach my kids that a banana is a treat.
Okay, yeah.
Lucky if they get one.
Okay,
right?
Okay. Yeah, beautiful.
So, and fruit. They love fruit. That's a nice treat for them.
Yeah.
Or you can teach them that a hard candy lollipop is a treat.
Yeah.
But whichever one you teach them, that's going to just
what
be
they learn.
It's going to affect them forever.
True.
So for your dog, you can teach him that carbohydrates is a treat, or you can teach him that dried meat is a treat.
Okay.
So if you want to give your dog the best treat possible, especially if you're training them, look for a...
What's dried meat? A beef jerky or no?
Yeah, but like for dogs, because you can't put salt or anything in them, or spice. Well, they call them jerkies, but it's just dried meat.
Okay.
You can do it yourself.
With a dehydrator?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you go to... Well, yes, exactly.
Okay.
But if you go to a pet store or something, look for the meats that you're not usually giving your dog, like venison or venison heart or ostrich.
Okay.
That is the perfect treat because you're giving him a whole new protein source, a whole new nutrient profile.
Interesting. Okay.
And that can only benefit him. Which is best, to give him that or to give him a carbohydrate grain-filled treat that's going to feed cancer, that's going to lead to, it's linked to skin problems in dogs, the carbohydrates.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Does nothing for them health-wise.
Okay.
So make your treats healthy.
Yeah, yeah.
It just makes sense.
That does make sense.
My own dogs have lived to, we don't know how old Moppy was, but at least 16. But for her condition is incredible.
That's amazing, yeah.
And then the other one, Prince died at 17, Cookie died at 18. No, Cookie died at 19, Chocolate died at 18.
Amazing.
These are all Tugos, and Tugos are supposed to live 10 to 13 years.
Okay.
But there are studies that are not done by the pet food companies, or if they have been done, they're not being published by them,
of course. Yeah.
that show dogs who get fresh food live 3 to 6 years longer, which is a huge amount of time when your lifespan is supposed to be 10 to 13 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's no coincidence that my own dogs live to be 16, 17, 18, 19, which is 3 to 6 years longer than the 10 to 13 years you're supposed to get as a Taiwan Tugo, they call it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
There's an amazing book called The Forever Dog,
Okay.
written by, I'll say Facebook friends of mine, but I don't know them very well, only from Facebook.
Okay.
Rodney Habib and Dr. Karen Becker.
Okay.
They've gone around the world studying the science and also anecdotal, like the dog that just lived to be 31 years old and still going strong.
Okay, wow.
They go there and say, what do you do? What are you doing? And they look at the person or they look at the studies. So they've produced this book, which is the most modern science. It's not marketing. So it's different to what you're going to read on the label of your dry pellets.
Nutri, whatever,
Yeah, it's very different. And it's an incredible book. I don't mean to do an advertisement, but The Forever Dog.
Yeah,
The Forever Dog. It's available in Chinese, English, many different languages.
Amazing. That's great.
I'm reading it, and I'm getting a lot of ideas for things that I can do for my own health because they remind you the importance of stepping on soil. Did you know?
What is it? Earthing, right? That's the thing.
Earthing, but also the bacteria from the ground.
Okay.
It's so good for you. Feed your dogs on the mud, not in a bowl.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So you read this book and you realize all the nutrients, all these mushroom things that are now exploding.
Okay.
That can reverse cancer.
Yeah.
This is scientific. This isn't like myth stuff.
Okay.
There are all these little things you can add to your dog's diet they're not going to get in the dry food. And without getting into the whole, I don't want to say conspiracy stuff, but let's say business practice stuff.
Sure.
The pet food companies are owned by the pharmaceutical companies, or at least they're all.
The bigger the business is, I mean,
so it's like when I used to work in pubs.
Yeah.
You sell salty snacks. Why'd you sell salty snacks?
So the people
they're going to
drink
drink more, right?
Of course, yeah.
So why are they selling you this stuff that's not the healthiest thing for you?
Yeah.
You become a customer for their other mega business.
And also, the whole pharmaceutical thing, that's a whole other story.
Oh, the story which
that's
we
a
won't
whole
get
other
into.
story. We won't get it. We'll do that on next episode, yeah. We have a question here real quick. There are groups of stray dogs in Danshui that travel around in packs. Are they safe to be around?
They are. I know them. The dog I told you about, you showed the picture with that was from that group in Danshui.
Okay.
There's a group of ladies that take care of them. You'll notice they're quite fat.
The dogs. Okay.
And a fat dog is
a happy dog, kind of like
a
a
happy
fed
dog. Yeah.
Okay.
They do bark, and they've, as far as I know, they'll stay away from people.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah. They've learned to stay away from people.
It makes sense. If somebody's done something to them, then why would they? Why would they?
Or if they've just never been around people.
Okay.
A lot of people think that when they meet a fearful dog, that dog's been abused, but it's not. That dog's just never known.
It's a stray, maybe the whole life has been a stray dog, and it's never had the domestication thing.
Yeah, it's like if you were walking in the woods and these strange animals started walking past, you're not going to walk over and say hello.
Hey, hello, how you doing?
You're like, hello, I'm not sure about you.
Yeah.
So, no, those dogs are really good. And I do agree if a dog is aggressive, it has to be moved on. We've got a lot of aggressive dogs in our sanctuary. I'm not one of those nuts.
Is there a way to be like, to train them to not be aggressive, or is that not
There's
possible?
a few things. Don't scare them. Don't chase them. Don't throw things at them.
Well, that's the animal instinct.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
People think dogs, and they'll start being aggressive, and you might think that's benefited you, but what about the kids that are going to come after you?
Yeah.
Now those dogs are thinking, there's another one of those strange beings. They attack us.
Okay.
Well, I think I can take that one.
I think I can take the little one.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You're doing no any favors.
Yeah.
People don't believe me, but it's absolutely true. You just ignore them. You just ignore them.
Okay.
When I get people riding saying, oh, I ride my bike in the mountains and the strays chase me, I say, do you want to know how to stop dogs chasing you? Yeah. Just stop. They can't chase you if you stop. And they go, oh, yeah, very funny. And I say, but it's true. They have a prey instinct. Mm-hmm. So if you run, they chase, but you stop. Try it in your car. That's the safest way. A dog is chasing your car. Just stop the car and watch. The dog kind of looks a bit sheepish and embarrassed, like,
what are we doing here?
Yeah, I didn't know we were going to get into a fight. I thought it was all posturing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you see stray dogs, you just ignore them. I get people telling me that stray dogs are dangerous. I probably have more contact with stray dogs than anyone
on the island for sure.
Yeah,
but
right.
I mean, yeah.
We go looking for them. We go into the jungles looking for them, and I've never ever been bitten by a dog that I haven't grabbed.
Okay.
Right. They will like if you go past a group that's being territorial.
Stay away from me.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're saying stay away. So just you stand your ground. You look confident, like you don't bother me, but I'm not a threat to you. They just need to posture. It's like two guys in a pub. After they're finishing posturing, they can go along on their own way, and they think they've made a show of it, and everything's good.
Chest puffed out.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Look, I used to run pubs.
Yeah.
But if you do anything to one of those guys, if there's two guys squaring off and you touch one, he will now hit the other one.
Yeah.
Because you've now made it physical, where they were just posturing.
You broke that barrier of physicality.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mammals like posturing.
Okay.
You watch the two guys in MMA, and they're getting each other's faces. But once one of them's pushing, now
there's a touch.
They want to hit each other.
Yeah.
Because it's the physical thing. Right now we're just posturing, but if you make it physical, even with a kiss. What was that guy that kissed the opponent? He got knocked out.
Yeah, for sure. That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so we're mammals. We see it. It's posturing. A dog is posturing when he's barking at you. He's posturing when he's chasing after you.
Yeah.
He's looking to see how you respond. Are you going to be prey?
Yeah.
Or are you going to be confident? As long as he doesn't see you as a threat, he's got no reason to defend himself against you.
Gotcha.
But don't throw things at them. Don't try and scare them. You're going to make it a lot worse for the people who come next.
Okay. One more question about that. Is there that kind of there's always that idea of like they can smell fear. Like that's an extra sense. Like if you're scared, they're going to be more kind of aggressive. Is that a thing? Like that's just
whether they can actually smell it or not. I don't know, but they sense it.
Okay.
And it's our body language.
Okay.
You can tell, like
sure, of course, if somebody's scared, but a dog,
We my friend Henri and I, when we used to go to the MMA matches in Taipei, I would teach you what I suspected, which is look at the two guys when they're squaring off in the videos.
Yeah.
Who's looking the least interested, and who's looking on trying to intimidate the other guy.
Yeah.
And 19 times out of 20, because we had a little bet on it.
Okay.
It was the less interested one that would win.
Okay.
The other one was trying to intimidate, was actually the weaker one.
Trying to cover up the fear, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Or trying to scare the other one. But the truly confident dog or person knows when you're trying too much.
Okay.
Makes
sense.
What was the question? I just wandered off into MMA again.
No, it's good. It's good. We love talking MMA here, so no problem.
Oh, I know.
No, if they can smell fear. Yeah.
That was the question.
Yeah.
So it's your posture.
Okay.
They're looking at your posture. If you're putting on too much of a posture, you've seen a guy in a bar, right?
Yeah,
if he's putting on too much, you're like, he's going to go down.
Yeah.
And what's that one with the young? He looks like a young. Who's that Russian guy?
We're talking about
and he's up against
Habib, Conor.
No. The big.
Hamzat Chimaev.
Oh, jeez, I've forgotten the names. There's the two brothers.
The Diaz brothers?
No, the Russian guys.
Fedor,
right.
Okay.
They had a young guy in their camp, and there's a very famous video.
He's just
when he's going up against that Jason guy, who's this V-shaped monster.
Yeah.
And he was putting it all on.
Yeah.
And Emelianenko's, they just
kind of slouching in the corner.
So you might think you're scaring a dog, but you can spot the weakness.
Okay.
And if you're trying to appease a dog, that's a weakness.
Okay.
So they can see it. So your best bet is just to be Emelianenko and just
kind of nonchalantly nah.
Yeah,
okay.
They will think twice. They really will.
Okay.
I saw a video the other day of a bear charging some photographers, and one of them ran towards the bear. and the bear, it was a grizzly, veered off.
Yeah.
It's posturing.
Okay.
It's how confident are you?
Wow.
And the guy never tried to threaten the bear. He just walked towards the bear.
Okay.
I'm not saying anyone should do that, by the way.
Yeah, don't attack the bears,
Don't
guys.
try that one
Don't try that at home. Let's go through the last
Or
few
a
pictures here.
Emelianenko.
Yeah, exactly. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Boom.
Oh.
This picture reminded me of the little bird that I saw, but I think the one I saw was way smaller.
Found it on a road.
So cute.
Found it on the road
cute.
near the American Club.
Okay.
I weren't sure if it had fallen out of a tree or had been flying. And, you know, they can fly in the traffic and they don't actually get hit by the car. They get hit by the
Like the wind?
the
sort
air,
of
the
deal?
wind in
Okay.
front of the car. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
super
we'll
cute.
often do this and we'll feed them up and then let them go.
And they can fly off and they're okay.
Usually,
Okay.
yeah.
Usually.
There's also a bird rescue that you can take. They won't take pigeons, but any other wild animal, any other wild bird,
Okay.
you can call the Wild Bird Society of Taipei and they'll take the injured bird. They'll get them better and they'll release them.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. Hiking. Did we do this one yet? There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Jumping back and forth. Okay, good.
What was I doing on this one? I think I was looking for... Who was I with on this one?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Oh.
But it was a good picture, man. I thought, okay.
When we're doing this, we very often go into the jungles and
Done
look
it
for
so
traps
many
and
times.
snares. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it was fairly recent.
Okay.
But I remember when I captioned it that apparently when I'm very tired I look a bit like Hitler.
Oh yeah. What? I don't see it.
I think
but
it's the hair
there you
and
go.
the
It's the
dark
hair. You
bit
gotta-
of the
you gotta
moustache
dye it.
under
You gotta
the.
dye the mustache. Yeah.
Well, wait, you got the
funny.
shadow of the
There you go.
tash.
Oh, there you go.
I've got to
Okay,
grow
okay,
more
okay.
white in.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Well, no problem. You're married now, right? So
Yeah.
Just
Oh
kidding.
wait, I do know
Yeah.
where this is.
Okay.
Okay, that guy.
Yeah.
This must be where it is. His dog had gone over a cliff.
Oh, jeez.
And so we went to go and help him look for it, and the poor guy was just crying the whole time.
Okay. Okay.
And it was after that we bought the search and rescue drone. Everyone chipped in. Everyone could see it was a fantastic idea. We've got this drone that has an incredible zoom, but
Okay.
also has thermal imaging.
Oh.
So when you're looking for a lost dog or a dog that's injured, you send the drone
Should be
up
easy to
and it
find.
just pops out.
Oh, nice.
As long as you do it at the right time of day. If you
Okay.
do it in the middle of the day, the heat
It's too hot.
the
Yeah.
heat
Gotcha.
signatures are too similar to the surroundings.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
But
Wow.
yeah,
We
he never
did-
found
we-
his dog in the end.
Oh, that's sad. We did the diet. That's a cool one. That's a very cool one. We've got some volunteers. These are volunteers, I think?
No, that's staff. That's
Okay,
Megan.
okay,
She
okay.
was running one of our sanctuaries called the Den, which has now moved to a bigger place.
Okay.
It's actually named after our biggest donor called Ned, so we reversed it.
Oh, Ned.
Den.
Ned's Den. Okay.
Yeah, that's
beautiful.
why when you see it, it's small d, small e, big N.
Ah,
So
nice.
yeah, Megan did a fantastic job taking care of the dogs.
Okay. Okay.
She moved back to France last year.
Oh,
Big
really?
pity.
Ah.
If she's watching this, tell her to come back.
Come on back.
Yeah.
What are you doing? The Ned's Den misses you.
Yeah, yeah. And she misses the dogs.
I bet.
And we're sometimes glad when we have a high turnover of staff because they'll all adopt a dog or cat.
Oh, yeah.
and
So they
with
take
them.
some. She took
She
one?
adopted a one-footed dog
Oh, really? One-footed.
called
Wow.
Sunshine. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Got a couple more here.
I think Judy took that one.
Yeah.
I think they must have adopted.
They're adopting, right? It's a good picture. Yeah. This
Yeah.
almost looks like an advertisement. Like it's such a great picture. That
Is
one.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, that
That's a
one's
good
going on the
one,
website.
You got to do it. Yeah, it's a beauty.
Yeah, you know what it is though? It's because you've
People
got
are
people
happy.
in it. When
People
you
are
have people in the picture
and smiling, and it's
yeah,
natural.
and they're all focused on the happy dog.
Yeah, exactly. And the dog's like, yep.
For us, this is the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
My work is extremely rewarding.
Yeah.
At so many levels.
Ah.
Someone sends me a picture of a dog with his leg hanging off. And
Okay.
just so your listeners know, the majority of our rescues are dogs who've been maimed by traps and snares.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
don't just go and get healthy dogs, we get injured
Yeah.
and sick ones.
Yeah.
We catch them and it just feels so good. They're in the car and you know they're going to get help.
Okay.
Then they come out of the vet and they've had all the surgery and you're like, oh, that is so good.
Okay.
Then we take them home, give them their first raw meal and you
Gotcha.
feel so good. But the best thing of all
Okay. Is this
when someone adopts.
Gotcha. That's beautiful. I love it. That's a great picture. I had to include that.
Yeah.
So if you see like a healthy stray, you just kind of just leave it.
Yeah, people
Oh,
often ask
yeah,
us,
yeah.
but we can't.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's another story.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
There's a dog that I rescued recently called Juno, because he was rescued in June.
In June. Okay.
And there's a very nice lady who lives in our area. She feeds the strays, and she'll often ask us to help an injured dog.
Yeah.
And she called us 1 week ago. There was a dog been in a snare.
Okay.
The foot was just rotten.
Oof. That's
Awful.
tough.
And I went with her friend who was getting the dog's attention, and I was
Okay.
able to net the dog.
Okay.
He's now in my house. By the way, happiest ending of all, a British guy with a Taiwanese wife and a little kid. They live in Kaohsiung. He saw the video. He said, I want that dog.
You want that dog.
He applied. It was the best application I've ever seen. Everything you want to hear.
Okay.
Where's the dog going to sleep? Wherever he wants, in my bed if he wants.
Okay.
How long will the dog be alone?
Okay.
No more than 2 hours. It's perfect.
Okay.
But
So there's an application process. That's
yeah,
awesome.
we're very
Yeah,
careful.
yeah,
We're not
yeah.
intrusive, but we're careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the reason I mentioned that dog is 2 months earlier, that same old lady who feeds the dogs asked me to rescue a dog who was healthy, which we don't usually do.
Okay.
But I agreed to do it because this lady has also been very generous to us.
Okay.
Her son has. So we offered to go, but I couldn't catch the dog because the old lady was getting in the way.
Okay. Yeah.
And I wasn't able to get close. It turns out that the dog that I rescued a week ago was the same dog.
Really?
So at the time, he was a healthy dog with 4 legs.
Oh wow.
So you ask us, do we
Oh,
rescue?
shoot. Okay.
Do we rescue healthy ones? And we don't. But
Okay.
it just kind of brought it home to us.
Gotcha.
We've got limited space, limited resources.
Yeah.
So we only
Of
try and bring
course.
in the ones who most desperately need it.
That makes sense.
But it would be fantastic if we had the resources to go and get them before they get into those
Okay.
nasty situations.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Makes sense. I got one more picture for you.
keep
Yeah.
talking.
There you go. I kind of spliced 2 in there together. It looks like kind of like the 2 sanctuaries, no?
Yeah,
I
so the
believe?
one on the left is the old den.
Okay.
We've moved it to a 4,000 ping place, which is about 3.5 acres.
Okay.
And we no longer have mud. That wasn't mud. That was grass that someone paid for, bless him.
Okay.
And it was wonderful for about 6 months, but after a while,
Natural
it just
grit.
becomes mud.
It's tough. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We bought the toughest local grass that we could.
Yeah.
We can still do it, but we have to give it time to rest. So we'll
Yeah.
have a few exercise gardens, and when that one's getting muddy, like moving cows to different pastures.
Like moving, like the farm. You know, this time this field's got to rest at that time,
Exactly.
and then like alternating, rotating. Okay.
So now the dogs live on concrete tiles,
Okay.
which is good because it keeps their nails down.
Uh-huh.
But we need to have an exercise garden, like I say, 3 or 4, so we can rotate them, because they need to be on soil. They need
Makes
the
sense.
bacteria on their feet, and we need to feed them on the grass as well.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the old one. It was a very lovely little peaceful place.
Okay.
Yeah, and the old beagle, I've forgotten his name now. He was there for a while. We sometimes get people giving us dogs.
Okay.
So, as a rule, we are an animal rescue in the literal sense of the word. We go and rescue them, not rescue as in people go and adopt a dog from a shelter.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But if someone's got a dog that they can't take care of anymore, and we've got the space, we will bring it in, but they have to give us a big donation.
Okay.
Because why should we take on their responsibility?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
No, that
usually
makes
the dog
sense.
has become difficult or whatever because they haven't been walking the dog properly or haven't been applying discipline.
Sure.
Discipline's just saying, no, that's all it
No.
is.
Yeah.
So we take over. So very often we take on aggressive dogs.
Okay.
And honestly, we bring them in and I can have them friendly within an afternoon.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
When my daughter was
You're
born,
the dog whisperer. Yeah.
if you copy
amazing.
Caesar Milan,
Yeah, I
you
was
can do
gonna say him,
exactly
yeah.
what he does.
Yeah.
He's just his way.
Yeah. He's
He's
great.
confident,
Yeah.
and he knows how to correct a dog without hurting them.
Yeah.
I know he's done some things like he used to jab the neck and whatever.
Okay.
If he's going to save that dog from being put to sleep, I've got no problem with it at all.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do that. Just being assertive and saying no to a dog
Okay.
is all you need to do to correct them.
Okay.
So we had 2 dogs who came in for quite serious aggression
Okay.
that were living with my daughter. Now, don't get me wrong. If I suspected there was any danger at
Yeah, of
all, it
course.
wouldn't happen. And she's never left unsupervised with them. And there are some dogs that I wouldn't do because, no, I couldn't fix them so confidently.
Okay.
But the fact is, a dog can be completely different depending on his or her environment.
Yeah. That
I
makes
can
sense.
give someone the nicest, easiest, calmest dog, but if they're an anxious person,
Yeah.
their dog's going to become
Anxious.
barking,
Okay.
destructive, aggressive.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So I'm saying that because I think that beagle came in because of...
Where's he at? There he is. Yeah, the beagle. Yeah. It's cute though. I love dogs, man. I wish we could do more.
So how many do you want?
Yeah. Yeah, well, shoot. I would. We'll come and we'll do some donations, man. And if anybody else wants to donate, the description has the link, and you can follow ACT, right?
Yep.
Which
ACT.
is beautiful. Yeah, ACT. Yeah. Yeah,
Animal
man.
Care
It looks like we have one more question. Thanks for your care and concern for animals. What initially made you interested in this field? Great conversation.
Just we don't have stray dogs in England.
Really?
Actually, the number of dogs that get picked up every year is the same as in Taiwan, but you don't see it. It's so quick. You see a stray dog, you call the police or you call the RSPCA, and it's gone.
Actually, Canada's like that as well.
Yeah.
I haven't been there for so long.
The infrastructure's in place.
Yeah.
But when I arrived in Taiwan, that wasn't the case.
Do you find that there's less now, though?
Yeah.
Because I remember, I've been here for 20 years, and there was lots of stray dogs everywhere when I first came.
In the city.
Now there's not much. In the cities, I don't really, for example, in Tien, I don't think I've seen
But
any.
you used to see little packs of dogs running around.
Yeah. There's a little pack that lives at this park up here, but that's about it. Yeah.
The biggest reason is the neutering. There's been some groups doing TNR, which is trap, neuter, release. They'll neuter stray dogs and put them back. That's been a huge help.
Okay.
Also, more people are neutering their own dogs.
Okay.
And people are learning more about how to take care of their dogs.
That's nice. Yeah.
There wasn't a stray dog problem before the 1990s.
Really?
Yeah, and yet half of Taiwan half the people in Taiwan grew up in a household with a dog.
Yeah.
But in those days, in the 80s and before, Taiwan was just very rural.
Okay.
So they had a dog, but the dog
Just lived outside. Yeah. It wasn't
Then-
a pet. It was just like a
but
guard animal.
But
Yeah.
then Taiwan became urbanized, and people moved to the cities, and they wanted to have a dog. But keeping a dog in a city is a very different matter.
It's tough.
They've got to keep it in their house. They've got to walk the dog. They've got to make sure it gets on with the neighbors.
Yeah.
But in the countryside, you can just wander off. And
True. Yeah.
So things changed a lot in those days.
Okay.
But so that was it. I started seeing stray dogs and wanted to help. And then when I saw an injured one, I had to help, and that was it. Addicted.
Sprung into action. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. So, do you want to give the last one a shot here, or what do you think?
How much stronger is it?
Oh, it's probably, it's going to be way up there. I would say 5 to 10 times.
Are you serious?
It's up there, man. Yeah. That's just kind of like the finale-ish. Yeah, the finale.
Why don't you like me, Eddie?
Yeah. We do that. We do this for everyone, man, every week. Yeah.
Really? How do they do on this one?
This one's rough. This one's rough for everybody. It's rough for everybody. No one finishes it. Yeah. So
You're just doing this for likes.
It's well, you know what? You got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Okay.
Right?
Well, if it's I'm going to take the smaller one this time.
Take a little nibble if you want. Take a little nibble of it, and then see what happens.
Jesus.
Yeah. But while we do that, I mean, was
While
there
we
anything?
do that, any last words? Is there?
Any last words? Yeah, exactly. Was there anything that you wanted to talk about before?
Wow. What do I want to talk about?
Anything you wanted to add? And I think we've known each other for a long time, so it's been such a good natural conversation. And it's crazy because time flies when you do this podcast. It's been an hour and a half.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? People are like, wow, I can't talk for an hour about myself. And I'm like, trust me. You can.
Yeah, it's just been like chatting, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's just chatting, basically. Yeah.
Except for this.
Yeah, except for that, yeah.
No, I've got no last words other than, to those who do support us, and we've got some incredibly generous supporters.
Okay.
I am so grateful because I'm getting to live a life that I love.
Okay.
And to see an animal life transformed from a dog with a rotten foot to get adopted into a lovely home in Kaohsiung or to move into one of our sanctuaries, I genuinely love it.
Beautiful.
So on a personal level, I want to say thank you. And if anybody wants to, they can reach me. The best way to reach me is through my Facebook, Seán McCormack, or the UK charity Facebook, which is Animal Care Trust.
Okay, I will actually link those when I'm done this. I'll link those at the bottom there. So if you guys want to donate anywhere in the world, adopt, right? Anywhere in the world they can donate, right? You guys do PayPal and stuff like that, I think. No,
we got PayPal. We got on our website. We can accept debit card, credit card, PayPal, Venmo, Google Pay, Apple Pay,
Venmo.
I believe so.
Okay, that's amazing. Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Isn't that linked into the PayPal thing?
I
hope so. I've been saying we take it, but I've never actually received a Venmo donation.
Okay, there you go.
We're going to have Bitcoin soon.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, beautiful.
Right.
Bitcoin's
well,
good. Well, take a little bite of that.
So has anyone finished it?
Some have finished, but they're not in good shape. So it's up to you, brother. You take a little nibble.
I'm going to take a nibble. I've got a family to feed.
Just a little nibble. Yeah, there you go.
Here we go then.
It's not too bad.
Tastes good so far.
Yeah. Well, it has to taste good, right?
Oh, that's dangerous because the first mouthful isn't that hot.
Yeah. It's a hot sauce, so.
So what's in this one?
Carolina Reaper.
That's the Carolina Reaper in there.
That's Carolina Reaper, yeah.
Well, at least I know what it tastes like now.
Yeah.
Am I being stupid? That one tastes okay.
Go for it, man.
No, that's Eddie.
It's up to you. It's up to you, brother. Do your thing. Do what you want to do.
Oh, when I just went, a little bit went up my nose.
Yeah, there you go. One thing that you can't do is don't touch your eyes.
Or anything else.
That is what happens. People go and they go to the bathroom, and I'm like, did you wash your hands? Wash it 3 times.
I've done it.
Yeah, me too.
I went to a Mexican restaurant in England that my friend was working at, and they got us to try this really hot chili, and I was crying. They said, you need to have a tequila. Have a tequila, and it will get...
What?
What they didn't tell me was it was a
spicy tequila.
It had chili in it.
Oh, shoot.
A stronger one. So I knocked back the tequila. I went to a...
That doesn't taste spicy, actually, today. Okay,
oh, don't say that. I thought I was being heroic.
No, maybe. I'll get in on that. I don't know. It's like I said, it's a hot sauce, so it's kind of like, it'll get there. It'll get there.
No, Eddie, this is the hottest one you've ever given anybody.
It is. I stand corrected.
I went with my friend Morris to go and buy some cigarettes. He ran an off-license kind of thing from his friends who were Indian. He was Indian. And they were making lunch. And apparently the Indian way is they all get out of the way and they give us their lunch. So I'm sitting down to this real, authentic
I love
Indian lunch, rice. And in those days I ate
Friday,
chicken.
if you're into it, yeah. Okay.
And it was chicken and rice and then all these little jars.
Okay.
And one of them was the smallest jar and it was bright orange. And I was like, oh, what's in there? They go, oh, no, very hot.
Don't touch that one.
And I was like, no, I like hot. We've been drinking beer. So I had a little mouthful. I was like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Knocked it back. I'm not kidding. On the way home, I was demanding that my friend put his foot down because I had my head out the window.
Okay, yeah.
And I was trying to take in all the hot air, all the cool air. I'm doing okay.
No, yeah, you're doing very well, actually, yeah. There you go, brother.
Okay, I've got to say, the flavor of that
flavor's all right,
is also really good.
Yeah, so we actually, we make the sauces, and the first thing is they have to taste good, right? Some sauces are just made for pain, but this one has to taste good. And actually, it's one of our most popular sort of side dish sauces that people kind of drizzle on their tacos and stuff, yeah.
So
there you go, brother.
When the interview's over and I'm outside crying, you're not allowed to mention that.
No, definitely.
Afterwards.
I won't mention that for sure.
Oh, that, I got to say.
Yeah, okay.
That's got a nice flavor.
That's one of our popular ones. Yeah.
See, you interview these MMA fighters.
Exactly. Yeah, and you've got to have we've got to get the BJJ white belts on here more often, right? Yeah, there you go.
I don't see them doing
the
Grim Reaper, whatever it's called.
Yeah, the Reaper for sure.
Do you know what? That was much better than I thought it was going to be. A bit like going to the dentist.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Right. Man. So we're pretty much much done, man. Do you have anything else that you wanted to add?
No, just thanks for inviting me and thanks for the food.
Brother.
Honestly, it was delicious.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
The first two I would have again and again.
Yeah.
The others I would have for a challenge.
Yeah, for sure. No, the first two are actually two of probably the best sellers on the menu.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
And I've seen them,
Chipotle,
but I've never.
Yeah. Well, I wanted you to try, so.
I'm so glad. It was really good.
I'm glad you came out. I wanted to get you on here. One of the more popular positive guys here.
Not popular.
Popular, no. Okay, positive for sure.
Positive for sure.
And I'm glad to have you, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you
Eddie.
guys for watching, man. And I will see you guys next week.
I might see you on the sidewalk crying.
There you go. Bye-bye.